Merry Christmas, everybody. How is it going? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Digimon Ghost Game episode review recap. Today's episode is episode 12, known as Chain Letter. Pardon me. And before I start the chain, please make sure you give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. And if you're not new here, hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this. All of these things help me out, and it'd be the best present you could give me. See what I did there? So, I have been complaining about some of the pacing of the show. Now, this episode was on the right track, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Um, Today's episode is going to feature a Digimon, whose name in English is called Weedmon. This is right here. There we go. This is Weedmon in English. In Japanese, is Zashomon. If I can just find another better picture. Actually, I think this was in the Adventure 2020 reboot. That was I remember that episode. No, that is really bad fan art. Also really bad fan art. Well, let's look at this art from the card game. Look at that. Look at Zashomon. Now, you may be saying, why is he called Wheatmon? Well, we are quickly met by a person who apparently is a teacher of Kiyoshiro. We'll only find this out later because of what happens now. Apparently, he gets a chain letter saying, you'll mail this out to 20 people, or in 3 days, something bad's going to happen. And he says, oh, I remember these from back in my day. Boy, he might be my age, or maybe he's a future version of a person in my generation, because I remember stinking ass chain letters. But yeah, he goes to delete it, and all of a sudden, all of these little Sashomon, I don't want to call it Weedmon, Sashomon pop up on the screen, and they come out of his phone, and they're biting and attacking him. So pretty soon, Kiyoshiro, who's on the VR headset, and Jellymon is napping in her jellyfish form, he gets the same thing. He's like, this is so outdated, and deletes it. As soon as he goes to delete the stupid thing, they pop up, they attack him. When Jellymon sees this, she runs away. Now let's read about Zashomon. They are a subspecies of Vegemon whose body is completely green. Unlike Vegemon, it does not ripen and turn red. In turn, it has obtained the vitality of a weed, allowing it to survive no matter how many times it is cut or beaten. Its special move is using the vine arms to squeeze the enemy, known as Vine Squeeze. Um, we first see this Digimon in Digimon Adventure 2020 reboot, or Digimon Adventure semicolon, but the reboot. Zashomon was one of the many Digimon that lost a home due to Millennium Mon's rampage. The same Zashomon and several other Digimon show up in the Angel's Determination, which was that still I showed you. Of course, before that, he first showed up in Digimon World. There were gray variations of Zashomon that appeared as an unobtainable enemy Digimon. Then they showed up in Digimon World 2 and Digimon World 3, etc., etc. Let me delete this and let me go back to my notes. So, and funny enough, I did not complain about the intro about the hologram ghost. Ha ha ha. Well, I didn't complain about it in the beginning, but it is in my notes. So, at a surprising turn, she runs away. She goes through the floor, gets to Hiro's room, hangs on to Hiro, while Hiro's with Galmon, of course, and says, "Save me, save me." And Kirishiro is knocking on his door. Jellymon goes into her leg battle mode form, opens the door, goes back underneath the sheets, and hides. And he's wondering, why did you leave me like that? Why did you leave me behind and run away? And her whole deal is, you should be thankful that I even opened up the door. And where am I at here? Ooh, I made a mistake. And Hiro's trying to figure out what the heck is going on, but all of a sudden he gets a email on his phone from Kiyoshiro. He's like, "Senpai, you sent me this email." And Kiroshiro's like, "How could I send it to you if I'm right in front of you?" And Gamon's like, "I got bad vibes." Smacks the phone out of his hand and gangster stomps this thing over and over again. He's like, "I got bad vibes from that." And Hiro is just like, "You stole my phone," which that's a natural reaction. I actually appreciate that. That's very funny. Whew. Pardon me. Anyway, we are now at an aquarium, and in this futuristic time. Not only do you get to see the fishes, there are also hologram fish that kind of swim up to you, and they look so real. I'll take their word for it because it's an anime. And Ruli's with all her friends, and Goramon's outside just kind of chilling out. And all of a sudden, she gets a email from Higuchi. That's Kiyoshiro. And she's like, why would you send me something like this? Just because you're scared, why would you send it to me? Delete. They pop up on her phone. Her other friends, they go, oh, you sent us an email. She's like, what? They try to delete it. These things are now everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, I mean they're all over the dorm. Hiro had to save somebody by hitting one with the broom. These things are growing at an exponential rate. They say ghetto, so they sound like frogs, but ghetto. And Goramon, he hears the commotion. He's gonna go inside. Jellymon tells them there's Ashomon. These are champion level Digimon. Made a I made a boo boo here because I didn't tell you guys what their attribute is. Weedmon is a, should I say Zashomon is a virus type Digimon, which will make sense because it's spreading like a virus, right? Champion Digimon, all that good stuff, and she's telling them, yeah, these things they get bigger by absorbing water because we see them grow in size when they're on the table dipping themselves into Ruli's friend's water and growing in size. And one actually vine slaps her, and she does a nice little thrust kick, saying, "You can't let your guard down on these guys." And she's terrified of them because her body looks like a water molecule. That's what most of her body looks like, and that's Hiro puts two and two together. So Jelly wants, they are able to scare these guys off because even Kiroshiro's like, these guys are kind of weak. She's like, yeah, you say that now, but I've seen ones in Digital World get this big. That is not an over exaggeration, ladies and gentlemen, and others. That's not an over exaggeration. I'm not cutting that out of here either. You guys are gonna have to deal with the fall. Ha! Anyway. Anyway, these things are biting people, and their whole modus operandi is to bite creatures and take their moisture. So the city is full of all these things. Ruli grabs her friends. They run out of the place. They're running down a freaking alley, and a giant one has two people wrapped up in his tentacles, and a guy runs up, beats this thing with an umbrella, making it run away. These things aren't very tough. Funny enough, I guess once you're able to fight back, they look like these things just tend to run away. So now here's the thought. The thought is Ruli's going to Angormon, who's leading her. Remember, her friends can't see Angormon because they don't have one of these. And but they can see these hologram ghosts because that's the form they chose to show up in. I think Angormon is in the invisible yet can move things mode. And these things are just running amok. Now, at the dorm, the students have fought back and they've kicked these things out, and they blame Kiyoshiro. They're like, I got these things after a letter from the dorm leader. We need to find him and get him. And he's hiding underneath the desk with Jellymon, and Hero's like, we need to leave. Of course, our heroes are pretty dang smart kids. They go to the library because they're going to talk to Bokomon, because of course Bokomon knows what's going on, right? So they get to the the Metropolitan Chew Library. Bokomon has already disconnected the entire place from the internet, so there's no way that those things can get in there. As a matter of fact, he can't account for items like tablets and phones that have their own Wi-Fi capabilities. I think he just probably means phones because tablets only work with Wi-Fi. If I'm correct, but I digress. Ruli had brought her friends to the library and asked them to sit out in the foyer just so they can regain themselves, because everyone the news has traveled fast over the internet about the chain letters and what's going on about these hologram ghosts. And the matter of fact, they pull up some of the stuff on the tablet that Pokemon's using, and for whatever reason they always have chocolate for Gamamon. So not Tapirmon, Bakumon, it has a lot of chocolate for Gamamon, who of course Gamamon calls chocolate Psycho, calls a champion. So He's cute and adorable, but that thing I can do without. The mispronounce, because I don't even think they say chocolate. Chocolate doesn't sound the same way as Psycho in Japanese, so I don't. Whatever. So, Pokemon asked them if they deleted the emails, and they're like, yeah. So when they delete the emails, that triggers it, and it uses the device's OS operating system software to copy themselves and to keep dividing. And in my head, I wrote in my notes, just kill them. The chosen ones slash Digidestin, they had no qualms with needing to kill virus Digimon, whether they were baby forms or Ricky forms, if they were causing a lot of damage. Just kill them. Anyway, it overtakes the device and spreads in like. And Hiro says so. It acts like an actual chain letter. And Kiyoshiro asks to use Pokemon tablets, and he does some calculations. There's 100 students in the dorm, right? And if he sent them all a letter, all they have to do, each of them just has to send it 10 to someone else. So now that's 1,000 that have grown and multiplied. But the thing is, if those 1,000 send 10 more, that's 10,000. And if it's multiplied 6 times over, that's a million. That's 100 million. And he said at this rate, they're going to take over Japan. Actually, no, they'll probably end up taking over the whole world. And, you know, Gamon's kind of looking at the screen, saw the red flash. She's like, "Ooh, so red." But anyway, they're being compared to by weeds by Pokemon, saying their survival instincts are high. And Gormon says, you know, they're spread so much online that some of them end up coming to the real world. And this time around, by what Pokemon saying, they're using human programs, things that methods they've never done in the digital world. So he can't predict what's happening. And of course, Jellymon is so nonchalant about saying it is the end of human society. But you know, they don't want to accept that. And even cute little Gammon goes, Hiro, if it's the end of the world, who's gonna make my Psycho? He's like, well, there's not gonna be anybody left, right? And Gammon's kind of like, ooh, not like, oh, like a, ooh, that's not a good thing. Um, so then, Gammon says, so, uh, Kiyoshiro has an idea of gathering them all in one. Well, Pokemon gives Kiyoshiro the idea of gathering them all in one spot to minimize damage, to which Kiyoshiro goes, aha, double click. And remember, there's any Digimon that have actualized into the hologram ghost form, if he his button, it sweeps the entire city. So double click, a couple of them were about to eat some people, save these people, and now they're all there. Kiyoshiro remembers that in this place, there's only one source of water, and it's the lake. So they know they're going to come here, and his whole deal is they just have to deal with them and find a way of taking advantage of their nature to get there. And he seems very determined and leadery. He's trying to come up with a vaccine that can take care of us, but his whole thing is he wants to clear his name, which is just, it's kind of funny. And so Garamond gets a deeper voice. It's like, I got bad vibes coming this way, like a deeper voice, deeper than I've heard this voice actress. I've heard her go before, but yeah. So while Hero's like, we need to come up with a plan. Nah, Gamon's like, I love my Psycheos. I love my chocolates. So he's just gonna run forward. The others follow him, and of course, we all know the Tamers, the Digimon human partners. They say the names of the moves so that Digimon don't have to. So we got Horn Attack, Break Claw, Petite Tornado. They're throwing these things out. They're hitting them, but there's so many of them, and they actually hurt them enough to the point where you see digital gashes across them. I'm like, oh, you're actually gonna kill these Digimon. Yes. Not in a dark evil way, but like, yes, you're finally getting it that sometimes you just gotta get rid of them. But these things start to merge together. They don't form this multi-headed beast. They just form a bigger version of the Zashomon that they were before. And what Hiro picks up on, it is kind of reducing their numbers. Like we're you take 12, they become one, so it's helping reduce these numbers. And so Jellymon comes in with her she laughs, says it's time, darling. It's time for us to show up. He's acting super cool and everything. Still wanted to clear his name. Digivolve right into Tesla Jellymon. As soon as she says that she's gonna give them a good punishment, they pull out a move called Punishune, which she jumps up, comes down with a crash, almost like a break dancing crash. She comes down with a crash. It's like an explosion that comes back in and explodes again. So I guess the energy radiates out, comes back in, and blows up, and it takes out a lot of them. Even Garumon's like, "Wow, that did that. She's taking out a lot." And Goromon looks like a freaking chump because he comes in and he's punching one to back up Ruli, but like six of them grab him and he falls down. Like, bro, when are you going to evolve? When are you going to stop being like at this point? He's kind of useless, right? Because I had to write right here. Jellymon gives info about Digimon as well. What is your usefulness, Angoromon, besides being a flyer? And at this point, Gamamon can turn into his own flying form. Just food for thought. So, Hiro, Hiro's trying to figure out what type of form should Gamamon take. Should become Better Gamamon and fly. Should become Better Gamamon and do multiple sword shots. Should become Better Chaos Gamamon and fly. He can't think, and while he's overthinking this, a huge Zashomon is gonna come and hit him. Gamamon grabs its tentacle vine and saying, "Hiro, don't worry about it. Don't overthink it." He basically says, "I can't be as cool and strong as Tesla Jellymon, but I'll do my best." And Hiro's like, "You know what? You're right. No point in overthinking it." So he digivolves, evolves, and he turns into Winzen Gamamon, the form I was most interested in seeing. This stuff kind of reminds me of what was that show of Zoids, where the Liger Zero had different armors. Had the red one that was the Blade Liger, had the blue one that was the Jet, the red one was the Snyder. Can't remember what the blue one was. It was the one that went super fast, and my favorite was the Panzer, the heavy ass tank. And this is what he turns. This is what Wizen Garamon turns into. Now his evolution sequence is actually a little bit better than what we're used to because he shows the fact that those feet, have guns. That tail is like a kind of a grapple thing that you can hold onto the ground. That those two horns are also guns, but in the middle they make a rail gun. There's other cool pictures here. Some other cool photos I can show you all. The thing about YouTube is sometimes these companies can copyright claim your stuff if you show too much. It's kind of sad. But yeah, you know what I just noticed? I noticed that Gamamon has his evolutions, all of them have the colors of the original Pokemon trio. Man, this is super blurry and I apologize for that. But yeah, they have the Pokemon trio colors. Got green, blue, red, I'm gonna say yellow. That last form has to be yellow. I do enjoy the fact that it looks like his last evolution, that his ultimate evolution is gonna look pretty much like an adult form of Gamamon. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Won't show it to you now, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Uh, don't worry, guys. One day, I'm going to be able to give you clearer pictures than this. But I digress. He shows up. He starts mowing them down. Like he's firing. He's knocking some out. They're getting gashes. They're having to form up together. And he's saying, "I'm going to save my Psycho." That's just the whole joke. He says he'll make them go kaboom. And the attack that he does, here it calls out, it's called Setna. And as a matter of fact, before I forget, let me read this guy here. He's an adult form of Garamon, a data type Digimon, Serapesian, Serapesian champion form. Garamon has taken on a quadrupedal appearance and has an opposing attitude and a generous heart. It is equipped with forearms of various parts of its body. Is equipped with firearms on various parts of its body. The two horns on its calvara, that's what you call a triceratops' hood, or most ceratops, like monoclops, triceratops. My own Digimon wants to go to bed. The Calvara have turned into long range cannons, and the uh, Horn of the Snout turned into an anti aircraft gun. He didn't fire that, which is makes sense because those things weren't flying at all. Where am I at here? The normal pace of his action is sluggish. And the tips of his 4 feet turn into small auto cannons. And is capable of firing them. The normal pace of his action is sluggish. Its special move is shooting out high-powered shells from its 2 cannons, Setna. And in addition, its positron cannon, Albion, which is shot from the long barrel while while it pierces its tail into the ground to supply it with energy. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Um, it boasts a great offensive power of Wizen Gamamon. However, each time it shoots, the exhaust ports open to radiate heat, and it is incapable of rapid fire. Now, quite interesting, and I don't really need a read the rest of my notes to remember this part. It was gathering up energy, preparing that large cannon, because there's a few of these things left. I think there's like maybe 4 or 5 of these large ones, and he's ready. Like I'm thinking to myself, he's like, I gotta save the world, gotta save my chocolate. I'm thinking to myself, they're finally gonna kill something. Then all of a sudden, an equally massive one that has more color to it than the other ones. Like, these guys are dark green. This thing is a lighter green. And he says, it's actually my fault. When I came here, I was all alone, so I cloned myself because I just wanted to have someone to talk to. And he says, yeah. And his eyes kind of narrow. It has a cane. This thing has a giant cane. And they're all listening to it. And he's saying, yeah, but then I lost them. And then even Ruli and Hiro's like, you lost them. And he's like, yeah, I lost them. And he says, at that point in time, I found the human world is teeming with water. And then he just takes them with him. Like, he doesn't finish his thought. He just says, the human world is teeming with water. And he leaves and takes them with him. He's like, yo, come follow me. And he says, I won't give you guys any more trouble again. Narrow eyes. This thing already has narrow eyes, so it gets narrower. And they're like, okay, they won. So before I say my thought, I'm gonna finish this up. The Angoramon ending soliloquy poem was severing the cursed chain. You hear the heartless echoes of weeds. So they're back in the human world. Whatever. How gullible are these kids? Like that was a very obvious. We're gonna come back and mess shit up. They're probably gonna appear once more, take water from like a water treatment plant, a purifying plant. They're gonna mess up again, and it's just I would have just killed them all. Maybe that makes me an anti-hero of the Digimon world, but you still have Dracomon, and I mark my words. I guarantee there will be a dark tamer that either Dracomon has either possessed their mind or a willing asshole that's teamed up with them and finds a dark bracelet and starts evolving. That's the only way that I can see this progressing because now they're just kind of dealing with urban legends and stuff like that. You gotta have a solid villain sooner or later. Like Digimon Tamers did this sort of thing, right? Like in the beginning, it's like, oh, we're tamers just like the show on the card game, and we're fighting all these things, and we're finding out having Digimon is not all that easy. And then sooner than later, bigger and more dangerous Digimon show up, and then all of a sudden the Devas, and we're like, oh crap, they're here for this. We got to protect the world. Now we got to go to their world. Because this show gives me straight up Digimon Tamers season 3 and Digimon Savers. I think that was season 5 vibes, where holograms and ghosts and a lot of the stuff is well known, but they've already encountered ultimate level Digimon. As a matter of fact, they've encountered like 4 or 5 of them, and Gormon has not evolved yet. I can see it's so predictable that they're gonna have an episode where and Gormon goes, I feel so useless because these guys can evolve, and Gamamon can even turn into 3 different forms. You could have just easily made both Angormon and Jellymon evolved. Both of them evolved by 10, 9 through 11. You had Jellymon at 10, and Goromon is just this fat slowpoke now. No offense. He doesn't suck, but he's kind of useless right now. Because now he doesn't provide anything except for being able to fly. Garamon can fly on his own when he evolves, and Jellymon can tell you about Digimon already. We definitely need him to catch up. And they need to change the pacing of this. I can't see this going another 13 to 12 episodes. And the next episode is called, what is the next one called? Go back. Oh, I don't have a name for that. But for the preview stuff, we see a Sealsmon. It's obviously Sealsmon. What I like that Digimon when it first came out. A little rookie Digimon that has a knife and a gun. It's named after Navy SEALs. Throws a knife at a Gorillamon and kills it. And it looks like they're able to see what's happening through a screen or something. Finally, a Digimon that'll die, and maybe they'll have some reaction to it, right? But yeah, my final verdict for this episode, it's a 5. A 5. Oh my god, it's a 3 out of 5. It's not a 5. It's a 3 out of 5. And I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 because I like seeing Wenzen Gamamon. It's kind of average. This kind of average episode. I give 3.5 at most. I enjoy that four-legged armament of doom. Like I said, it reminded me of a Zoid that I liked. So 3.5 doesn't really do anything super special, but it does. Okay, it's a 3.5 also because it introduces the idea that they're going to be threats to the world. Like, this is going to be in their mind the next time they have to fight a Digimon that's more evil than normal. They're going to remember this and go, we got to solve this problem. And I don't know if having 3 is going to last that long. Who knows? Sabers end up getting the ninja kid that started off bad and became good with the repurposed Falcomon from 2006. So who knows what'll happen. But please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, give me a like. The likes really help out the channel. Subscribe. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers. If you aren't new here, hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. Pardon me. As always, share the video so others can see what a great time we're having. I do these videos for you guys every week. Looks like Digimon isn't taking a break, so neither am I. As always, I thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with me. Merry Christmas to all of you. Please be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, wear a mask. It's getting crazy out there. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. You are never, ever alone. You got me right here, and I'm pretty sure there's other people out there that actually care about you too. So, as always, I will most definitely. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. No, I'll see you guys next time for sure. Merry Christmas, and if in case I don't see it at the time of it, Happy New Year.